Good afternoon, YouTubers. Tsquare with Tsquare Talk. Today we are going to be making up a delicious whole wheat pasta with an Alfredo and mushroom sauce. This is going to be so good, guys. You guys are going to love this if you try this out, and let's show you guys how it's done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to start this recipe, we're going to gather up all of our stuff. Like I said, the mushrooms, these were on clearance today, so I had to grab them. They're still good. They're just 50% off because they want to blow them out. When it gets near the date, they always tend to mark that stuff down. And if you're going to use it the day of, it's perfectly fine. You're going to need some salt, some pepper. I'm going to be using some paprika, some thyme, some parsley, some cayenne pepper. Some garlic, some butter, and a little bit of wine. You can always use minced garlic. I keep this in my fridge. I'll use this a lot of the time. I enjoy that too, and it saves time if I'm in a rush. Today I got plenty of time, so I'm actually going to cut up the real garlic. So let's get started. So the first thing we're doing, we're getting the pan good and hot. I have the pan heating up at a 6 out of 10. And I will actually up the heat in a little bit. I like to start off when I'm putting my butter in at a little lower heat. That way I don't burn the butter, and then I'll slowly start raising the heat. I'm going to be using roughly 6 tablespoons of butter. So let's get this melted and thrown in there. Okay, so we got the butter good and hot. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to throw in the mushrooms. So I'm just browning them up a little bit, and I'm also going to add in, chopping up the garlic, and then I'm going to add in some salt and pepper first. Going to add in a little bit of wine. Don't need a lot. That's going to create some steam in there, add some flavor. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add in my garlic, my paprika, my thyme, my cayenne, and parsley. We are going to be cooking up some whole wheat spaghetti pasta, and we're going to make a creamy cheese sauce to go with these mushrooms. And this is super easy. All we're going to do, we're going to add about a cup of half and half. We're going to add about a cup of the heavy whipping cream. And then we are going to add in some cheese, let the cheese melt into the sauce, and in the meantime we'll be making up the spaghetti. So I did just drop my heat down. My heat is actually on medium now. It was on like a 6, between a 6 and a 7. However, we just dropped it down a little bit. Now, you don't have to be specific with the half and half and the cream. I said a cup, but you can just kind of eyeball it. You know, just put some in. It's going to seem odd at first when you first start mixing it. Anybody that's never made Alfredo sauce, they're probably looking at this saying, why does that look like that? Because I know the first time I made it, I was like, what's going on? Why does it look all weird? So we're going to let this warm up, the cream. We're going to stir this all together and before we put in the cheese. Okay, so now if you do have fresh grated Parmesan cheese, it's going to be a little more pricey, but if you have it, that works great at this point. But if all you have is the powdered, whether it's HEB cheese or any kind of powdered cheese, it will work fine. We want to add it in. I'm going to lower my heat down to a 4. Want to add it in when you start seeing bubbles coming up. That's the time to add it in there, and we're just going to push all the mushrooms over, and we're going to start adding cheese in there, and the cheese will melt and thicken the sauce. Now, one thing to note, when you do start adding the cheese, make sure you continuously stir and break all this up. If you need to use a whisk, go ahead and use a whisk. And as you whisk it around, you're going to see I had already pretty much put the cheese in and whisk it off camera, but it's super simple to do. Your sauce will start thickening up, so it's not going to be as soupy as it was. And we're going to check on the pasta. That is looking delicious. As soon as our pasta is done, waiting on the pasta, as soon as the pasta is done, we're going to plate this up and I will show you guys the finished product. Okay, so the pasta's all cooked up. Now if you are going to have extra pasta, go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil in there and just mix it all in. That way it don't all stick together. Let's get this plated up and see how it looks, guys. And there it is, the finished product. That looks delicious. Some wheat spaghetti with an Alfredo sauce, and instead of meatballs, we did mushrooms. Tell me that does not look delicious, guys. It is. I'm ready to dig in. I'm not even a vegan, but let's give it a try. That is so good. You guys have got to try this out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys do try this out, definitely let me know how it came out. And please hit that like and that subscribe button. I hope to see you guys again on Tsquare Talk. Take care, guys.